Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Veronica and I run a small business called Looping Teddies where I mostly sell crochet plushies. So this week we're doing fall market 3 out of 3. So the past 2 weekends I've already been at fall markets and they have honestly blown me out of the waters. They have both been super amazing. So I ended up selling quite a lot of plushies already. So this week of market prep before the market on Sunday, actually I have like so much to do. So I actually wrote out a plan on what I want to prep this week. I haven't really done inventory on what I have left in exact numbers, but I kind of know what sold well the past 2 weekends. So I kind of wrote down what I know I am currently running low on. I did do quite a lot of market prep over the course of the summer season because I didn't do any markets for over 3 months. So I still have quite a nice little boost in terms of numbers for my plushies left, but it's honestly kind of scary that I'm already running low on a couple of plushie types because I still have 21 more market days this year. So that is kind of insane. I don't really know what I got myself into for that, but let's get into what I want to prep this week and then also what I have already started to prep. It's currently Tuesday. It is October 14th and my market is on Sunday, the 19th of October, and that is my last fall market before I have like a little tiny break before my winter markets start. So let's get into the list for this week. So, first of all, I have turtles that I want to prep. I know I sold out of my blue turtles, so completely blue turtles, two-toned. I had two of them and I want to prep two of them again because they are always pretty popular. And then I actually want to prep some more turtles. My natural looking turtles is what I like to call them. So they have a beige body and then a green shell. And I want to prep three of them because I sold all three that I had at last weekend's market. Then I want to prep at least 5 cats. I actually have the bodies for all of them made. I made them at my last market, so I at least want to finish those up. I then want to make a giraffe and a cow. Those are both the crochet growth patterns, so quite the big size plushies. But I ended up selling so many of my bigger size plushies that I definitely need to make some this week. So I decided on those two, and then before my winter market start, I definitely will have to prep quite a lot more of the bigger plushies since I think once people start looking for Christmas gifts, they might pick out some bigger plushies as well. So I really want to stock up on those before then. But for this week, one giraffe, one cow is fine for me. And then I want to prep 4 blue penguins. So my little stress ball birds, but in blue penguin form because they were such a big seller at last weekend's event. So I only have one in the monochrome blue left. So I really want to make some of those since they were so popular. And then finally on my list I have baby whales and baby octos. I wrote down 10 of each of those, but honestly if I just have more time at the end of this week, I will just prep as many as I can for those since they're always super popular. Okay, so now that we know what I want to prep ideally this week, let me show you what's in my whips bag since this is quite full and I have already started to make quite a lot of plushies this week. Some of the whips I already started at my last event because I always like to take yarn and my crochet hook and work on plushies while I'm at a market. And yeah, I have quite a lot of whips from then still left over. So let me show you those first, since like chronologically, those were the first whips in here. So first of all, as I said, I was working on some cats last week at my market. So here we have a half white, half orange kitty that is still missing the tail. And then of course, eyes and yeah, stuffing, because I never take those to my markets. I always kind of just crochet the bodies or body parts and then I finish them up later on because that's just like way easier. So here we have a black and white kitty and I actually have two of those. So here they are, exactly the same since they have been super popular, like this colorway. So I wanted to make at least two. And then at my first fall market, I actually got asked so many times if I had a completely black cat. So that is what I finally decided to make. Kind of hard to see details on that. So we will see how I can make the eyes stand out a little more. But for now, this is what this is looking like. So quite a lot of black cats, but they're always popular, so I wanted to make some of those. And then the fifth and final cat is another orange kitty, so just like orange with white feet and a white belly and then a white tip of the tail. I make quite a lot of cats in this colorway, so this is what the two orange kitties look like. And yeah, so I have 5 cat works in progresses and I want to make 5 cats this week. So once I finish those up, I think I'm like okay on cats. I could always make more, but yeah, I have to set a limit somewhere because otherwise I can make cats for an entire week and not get anything else done. But I actually do have another cat work in progress from last week that I couldn't finish up. So here is the final cat I have. I actually am completely out of this yarn color, so I couldn't finish this one up for my last market last weekend. So this is still in here. I actually ordered some yarn. I think it was on Sunday, so that should come in this week because I actually realized I have like one half skein of brown left and none of this color, like this really nice beige. And I definitely need some of that, especially like looking at Christmas plushies. I definitely need like quite a lot of brown. So I ended up ordering that and then just a couple of other colors that I'm running low on. So that should come in, I think, tomorrow or so. So we might get a yarn haul this week as well. And then the other plushies I worked on at my last market on Sunday were baby octos because they were crazy popular. So I ended up selling 18 of those at my last event. So I definitely wanted to restock some of those. So I made quite a lot in this color because I'm completely out of them. I made, I think it's 7 in this color. And then I also made 3 more in this light blue because that is also running low currently. So I have 10 baby octo bodies prepped that I still need to finish up. So we will get to that at some point during this week. And then the final work in progress was what I was working on yesterday. So let me show you that right now. So I already started working on the giraffe by Crochet Grove. So this is what the body looks like. It's completely finished. Then we have the yarn tail to sew on the head. And I actually have all of the body parts completed. So here is the head. And I'm not sure like what happened here. I'm not like completely happy with how this turned out. Like this spot is supposed to be like right behind the eye and it's kind of like moved to the side for this one. And then also I don't really love the placement of the eyes. I think they're just like one stitch too far apart. So I'm not like in love with how this head looks, but I think once we sew it all together and have the details added, I think it won't be as bad as it's currently looking. So we have those two, and then we have all of the small parts as well. So here we have the 2 ears, the little tail, and then the 2 little horns. So we will need to sew all of that together, and then we're finished with this one. So that is quite a good progress. But I think for now, for like today, I think I will start out by working on the cats, and then we will see what I get up to tonight and how far I can get done with all of these works in progresses, or realistically, what else I start to work on tonight. Okay, friends, it's now Wednesday. I have just finished my workday and I'm back at the studio, and I wanted to show you a little something that I set up last night. So you can already kind of see it behind me. So let me take you over there and show you just what's going on back here. Okay, so this doesn't really have anything to do with my market this weekend because this weekend I will have my normal canopy 3 by 3 meter setup and enough space for all of my displays and products, which I always like to take. But this is already like planning ahead for my winter market that I have coming up, which I will be actually selling at for 11 days, so quite a long time. And at that venue, every vendor just gets a 4-foot table as their whole display. So I'm already like planning ahead and trying out how I can get a setup that actually fits a lot of product on just a small space like a 4-foot table. So I recently got this display, which is just a little ladder shelf, which is actually like a bathroom shelf, but I think that it will look super nice on the table and it can hold actually quite a lot of product. And I ordered another one which hasn't been delivered yet, so I also want to try out putting another one here if that looks good or like a little too much. So we will see all about that. I'm already like kind of planning ahead for my Christmas market with very limited space. So that is what's going on here. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is that my yarn order arrived. So let's go through that quickly because I've actually been really waiting for that since as I said yesterday, am almost out of a couple of colors and I'm actually out of the beige that I really like to use. So let's get into that before I show you all of the plushies I worked on since I spoke to you yesterday. Okay, so let's get into the order. I got quite a lot of different colors this time around, but let me show you the big guys first. So as I told you, or I'm not sure if I actually told you, I ordered 10 skeins of brown yarn, and somebody recently commented under my last yarn haul video that I should start saying the color names or like color numbers that I order because that would be helpful to some people. So this is the color number 119 and I actually never got this color before. I usually get the brown, which is like number 151, but they are completely sold out of it. So I decided to just take the risk and order a different brown tone. And let me actually show you what the other brown looks like. So little spoiler, but I finished my giraffe. So this is the tone 151 and this is 119. So it's slightly lighter, but other than that, it's exactly like the same tone, just like one tone lighter. And I really like this color actually. So I think it's perfect for what I got it for, like teddy bears and deer and all of that for Christmas. So yeah, I got 10 skeins of this brown tone. And then I also got 10 skeins of this beige, which was like my cat work in progress, and just in general I really like this beige tone. And this is the color 171, and this hasn't been out for like super long, but honestly it's like my favorite beige tone out of all of them now. So I finally decided to get more than one skein at a time, and yeah, went ahead and got 10 of those as well. And then I really wanted to get free shipping on my order, so I just went ahead and ordered like 1 or 2 skeins of like a lot of different colors, just the ones that I was running a little low on. So we have 2 in this really bright green, which is color 145, and I really like this for brontosauruses. I got 3 skeins in this baby pink, which is color 128, and that is like my baby pink tone that I use. They have a couple of other baby pink tones, but honestly this is the one that I like the most. I got 3 skeins in this light turquoise, and I really like to use this for turtles, and this is the color 125. Then I got a skein of this dark brown, which I usually don't use a ton, but I know that I want to make at least a couple like reindeers or something like that for Christmas. So I needed a darker shade of brown as well to complement this. So I really like this, and the dark brown is the shade 152. I got a skein of medium blue, which is color 111. And then I got a skein of this green, and honestly I wish I had gotten a couple more of that because I realized I only have 1 skein of that left, and I used quite a lot of this green for my natural looking turtles, so the shells are in this color, and then also for my mallards, the top part of the mallard is in this color. So I already know that I will have to get more of that pretty soon. But for now, I only have one of those. So this is my completed yarn haul for this time around. Let me put that away and then we will get into the plushies I was working on and I finished last night. Okay, so now that we have kind of cleaned up a little bit, let me get into all of the plushies I have been working on since I spoke to you yesterday. So first of all, I already showed you that, but I finished my giraffe. So this is what he's looking like, and I still wish that I placed the eyes just one more stitch like closer together, but now that all of the details are added and it's completely finished, I actually don't mind the face anymore as I did before, so I think it turned out fine. So this is the first one that I finished and I already crossed that off my list, so that is one plushie down. And then let's actually look into my whips bag. So then I also went ahead and finished all of the cats. So here is what they look like for the completely black one. I decided to go ahead and add these little whites for the eyes because otherwise I felt like you couldn't really see anything on that cat. For the ones with the white belly, I actually didn't do that because I feel like there's like enough going on here that they don't really need it. But for this one, I really like how this looks. So yeah, 5 cats are now completed. So those are all the ones that I wanted to make for this week. But now that my yarn order has come in, I think I will actually go ahead and finish this one as well, just to have that done and out of my whips bag. And then I started to work on my baby whales next. Let me try and find the ones that I have finished already. Okay, so I have 4 of them finished, 2 in this speckled blue, because those completely sold out already. And then I have 2 more finished in this dark blue like this, because this color has been so popular at my last markets. I prepped 5 of those and I only have 1 of them left, so I decided to go ahead and make some in this color. And then I have the other bodies also prepped for the whales. So let me try and find them all. Okay, so these are the bodies. So I have 1 more in the dark blue. I have 1 in speckled pink. I've never made this before, but I thought since the blue speckle was so popular, I will try out this one and see if it does as well as the blue ones do. I then have 2 in the baby pink because I have only 1 left of those. I have 1 in a bright pink because I only have 1 left of those. And then finally I have 2 in a lilac because I actually have 0 left of those. I have some in like another shade of purple, but none in this like super light purple. So in total, I actually prepped 11 bodies for the baby whales and I only wanted to make 10, but it kind of worked out this way last night when I was working on them, so I decided more is better and I will just go ahead and finish all of them. So that is actually the first task I want to work on today, to get those out of the way. But then last night I also made 1 more plushie and I am honestly obsessed with this one. So I made this little penguin. And yes, this is a blue penguin, but this is not the type of blue penguin I wanted to make for this week. But I remembered this little pattern that I used last year for my winter markets, and I am always on a lookout for some small patterns since they tend to do the best for me. So I decided to go ahead and just try and make some more of those again for my upcoming markets and see how they do. So I actually brought over quite a lot of colorful yarn to try and make some more of those in like lots of different colors. I'm thinking like blue, obviously, purple, pink. I have like 2 tones of orange right here. I have 2 tones of green, turquoise, and then just regular like black and gray penguins. So I really want to make, I think, also like 10 of those. They're super quick to make, They just have a lot of color changes, but other than that, they're just like 10 rounds, so not that long to make them. So yeah, this is my new obsession. This is something that's not on my list, but I just want to make those. So I think after I finish the whales, I will have enough time today to work on some more of those and try out those for my next market, because I think like with the upcoming winter markets, these might just be like one of the new bestsellers. So yeah, that is the goal for today. I will work on finishing up my other mini plushies, like the baby whales, and then I will go ahead and work some more on these little penguins, and I might check in with you in just a little bit, or I will show you tomorrow what I got finished today. Okay, friends, so I'm about to head out of the studio for today, but I wanted to show you what I got finished. So, first of all, I finished up all of the little whales. So, all 11 of them are now completely finished, and I can cross those off my list. And then I actually decided to be good and finish up all of my baby octos first before moving on to other plushies. So, I have all 10 of those completely finished. So that feels pretty good. I can cross those off my list as well. And then we only have the turtles, the cow, and the blue penguins left on the list. So that actually feels pretty doable. I definitely know that tomorrow evening, if you don't know, on Thursdays, we have family dinner night with my family. I will go ahead and take some yarn to work on the turtle parts and hopefully make all of them then, so I can get all of those done, and then we can focus on the big penguins and the cow on Friday, where we have all day to work on those. So this list definitely feels doable. And then tonight my big goal is to work on some of these little penguins, because I've been really looking forward to making some more of those and making them in all kinds of different colors. So that is my goal tonight, and I will see you guys tomorrow and show you what I got accomplished. Okay, friends, it's now Friday, so we have today and tomorrow to prep for the market. And I wanted to show you what I was working on since I last spoke to you. So, first of all, on Wednesday, I was really obsessed with this little guy. So, I went ahead and in the evening, I worked on some more of those, and currently, none of them are finished up, so we still have quite a lot of works in progresses right here. But let me show you all of the different colors I made these little penguins in. So first of all, we have this two-toned lilac one, and I really like the pastel color palette that I chose for this one. For my bigger purple penguins, I use a darker shade of purple, but I think for the tiny one, this gradient looks quite a lot nicer. So that was the first one, and I didn't finish them up because I didn't want to put eyes in and everything. So this is what will happen next, and then I also need to make the little feet. So I think it's 2 or 3 more rows for each of those. So this is the first one. And then I made 2 different turquoise colored penguins. So here they are. So we have a lighter one and then a darker one. And I honestly don't know which one I like better. So both of these look so cute. And I actually think that I should try and make a bigger version of one of those color palettes as well, because I think that would be popular as well. I think this one would be perfect for a bigger penguin as well. But for now, I will work on finishing those 2 up as well. And then I made one more. So I've never made this color combination in the bigger penguin ever. So I wanted to try that out for the small ones, how it does. So I made an orange penguin, so a two-toned orange little guy, and we will try and see how well he does. Orange is usually not one of the most popular colors, but I still wanted to make lots of different colorful penguins. So Currently I have 4 of them in progress and 1 of them finished. So we will try and see if I can work on any more of those, because I still have a little bit of my list to finish up as well. So let me get into that. So yesterday, as I said, usually on Thursdays we go out to dinner with my family, and like during the market season or whenever I have like a bigger order open, I usually take my yarn to work on some stuff there. And that is what I did yesterday. So I was quite productive last night, and I took all of the yarn for my 5 different turtles that I want to make. So the 3 natural looking ones and the 2 blue toned turtles. And I finished all of the parts for them. So we have 3 in the natural colorway, and of course all of the fins and heads as well. And then we have 2 in the blue with all of the fins and heads. So I will need to work on finishing that up and finishing these little guys up as well. And then last night I was actually finished with all of my turtle parts that I wanted to make for this week. So I decided to go ahead and pick up the red yarn that I had in my yarn bag and make some little octos. So I made 3 of those as well that I want to finish today. So that is what I was working on. So I will still need to finish all of that up. And then after that, I still have my 4 blue penguins and a cow that I want to make. So definitely still quite a lot to do. But for now, I actually need to head out and run some errands. So I don't know when I will be back today, but definitely my goal for today is to finish up all of these works in progresses and hopefully get all of the blue penguins done. So I will take my yarn on my errands and work on those like in the car, so that I can hopefully finish all of the bodies for them as well today, and then hopefully like just have the cow to make tomorrow so that we can get all through the list that I wanted to make this week. And then also on Wednesday, I guess this is not a work in progress, but I can show you that as well. I worked on prepping some more of my shopping bags. So at my last market, I almost ran out of shopping bags. I had 1 left at the end of the market. So I wanted to prep some for this week as well. And I recently got these white bags. So before I had brown bags, but I just think that these white ones look a little nicer, a little cleaner, and they were exactly the same price as the brown ones. So I decided to go ahead and go with those. And what I do for these is I just have a little sticker with my logo. So this is actually my old logo. I kind of rebranded a little bit recently. If you look at my channel, you will know what the new logo looks like. But I still had quite a lot of these stickers printed from my thermal label printer. So I decided to go ahead and use those up and prep quite a lot of these bags. So hopefully these will last me at least for this market. I think they should. That's quite a lot of bags, but I've prepped that as well to get ready for the market. So now, as I said, I will be heading out, but I will be back later and we will work on some more plushies. Hi friends, I'm now back from running my errands. It's quite a while later. It's actually 6:30 already, so I was debating if I should even come back here for today or just like have a chill evening. But in the end, I really wanted to finish my works in progress that I currently have just to get something done and be able to cross quite a lot of things off my now very crumpled list that I wanted to accomplish this week, because once I finish all of my works in progresses, I only have the cow left to make for what I wanted to do this week, and that kind of feels very motivating to me. So that is what my goal is for right now. I did take my yarn for my afternoon of running errands, and I made quite a lot of the blue penguins as I wanted to. So I wanted to make 4 of them, and I actually ended up making 5. And I switched up the colors a little bit for this time. So I have 2 like I used to make them. So with the dark blue top and then the light blue bottom. So I have 2 of those. And then I have 2 lighter little penguins with like a medium blue on the top and then a light blue on the bottom. And that is what I did for my little penguin. And I really like this color combo. So I wanted to do that on the big ones as well to try and see if they are popular at my market as well. And then I thought, why not also make a darker version? So we have dark blue on the top and then the medium on the bottom. So kind of like the darker version of this one. And I actually really like it. It's like a very like stark contrast to the white face. So personally, I think I might actually like this one the best. But usually at my markets, darker colors tend to sell not as well as lighter or like more bright colors do. So we will see if he gets picked up or if he gets any attention. I'm planning to put all three versions of Blue Penguins out at the same time and see what the reactions are to kind of see what I should make in the future. So those are all of the penguins I made for today. So I think I will actually start out by working on those and finishing up those. So putting in all of the eyes, adding the beak, stuffing and closing them up. So that shouldn't take me long, and then I think I will actually move on to the turtles and at least prep the heads. So let me find one. So put in the eyes and stuff those, because after that I can easily finish those up like in the evening today while I'm sitting on the couch and watching something, because then I won't have to deal with putting in eyes anymore. So those are the first steps that I want to do right now, and we shall see how much I can get done while I'm here or if I take anything back home with me again. But yeah, let me start working and I will check in with you guys once I have something to show you. Okay friends, so it's now an hour later, so it's 7:30 now, and I'm about to head out of the studio for today just to have some dinner, but I will still be crocheting, of course, tonight to hopefully finish up all of my works in progresses. So far in this hour, I have finished my 3 little red octos I made last night. So these will go into my bin that I am currently collecting all of the plushies I made this week in. And then I finished all 5 of these penguins. So they're all completely made up. I cannot make a permit right now, but they're all finished, so they will go into the bin. And then I also made up the first of the 5 turtles. So this is the natural looking turtle, what I like to call them. So this I can also store right here. And then I went ahead and added eyes for the rest of the plushies. So I have all of the turtle heads. I'm currently working on one of them. So all of these are now like stuffed and have their eyes added. And then I also have added the eyes for all of these little penguin guys so that I can finish them up easier tonight as well and just like on the couch. So now I will mark off all of the things that I have finished from this list to kind of get a better overview. I will also put in the mini penguins that I have currently started to work on just so I can cross those off as well, because that is kind of satisfying. So I really want to do that. And yeah, and I will, of course, be crocheting a little more tonight, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow, which is the day before my market, to hopefully work on the final plushie, which is the cow that I really want to make. But I'm also like feeling really inspired to make a pattern again. So I have what I personally think is a pretty good idea. So I might work on that a little tomorrow. We will see what happens, but yeah, that is the plan for now, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, friends, it's now Saturday, and as you can probably tell from the lighting, it's already kind of late that I am now getting to check in with you guys, but I have been like super busy today. So I'm just about to pack my car for the market tomorrow right now. So everything was kind of pushed to the back today, but I still crocheted so many plushies, or finished up quite a lot of plushies since I spoke to you yesterday evening. So I still wanted to show you all of those before I pack them up for the market tomorrow. So let me go through them. First of all, I finished my turtles that I was working on still. So we have the two blue turtles right here. So they will go into my bin for the market tomorrow. And then I have the other two natural looking turtles also completely finished. So they will go and join their brother in the finished plushie bin. I still need to tag all of the plushies that I made this week, but I can easily do that at my market. I just need to take my price tags and I can finish them when I'm there. So that should not be a problem. And then I also finished all of the little penguin guys that I was working on for what feels like the longest time. So here are the four little guys that weren't finished before. So now this is the whole gang. And I honestly love how they look all together. And my boyfriend actually suggested quite the fun thing. So these kind of look like little collectibles. And I definitely agree with that. So he thought, why not make them like into a blind box kind of thing and kind of have different possibilities on like what colors you could get from the blind box. And I really like that. And I think these would be the perfect little guys to go into little blind boxes. And I definitely don't have enough for that kind of thing for this weekend, so I will just take them as is. But for my winter markets, I think that is such a great idea. And I'm thinking about like making just like 4 or 5 of each of the different colors and then putting them into little blind boxes with like little labels that show you all of the possibilities for the little penguins and make a little fun activity at my table. I really like this idea, so I will definitely keep that in mind and work a little more on that for the other markets. So that was everything that I finished last night. And then today, as I said, I still had the cow to work on from my list that I wanted to finish for this week. And let me just say, I did not work on that today. So the cow was the only plushie that I didn't finish for all of the plushies that I wanted to make this week. But instead, I worked on something else. I really wanted to write another pattern, so that is what I was working on today. So let me show you what I finished. So here is my little moose. He's kind of a chunky little guy. So I wanted to write a moose reindeer pattern. I know there's a lot of patterns out there, but I just wanted to have him sit in like a kind of different position. Then I see a lot of other patterns out there. And yeah, this is what I designed today. It's definitely not the final version. There's still a couple of things I want to improve on. But for like a first version of a pattern, I really like this one. And by the time that you are watching this video, I will definitely have worked on the final version, and there will be a tester call out there on my Instagram. So if you're interested in testing a little moose reindeer little guy, definitely make sure to check that out over there. And yeah, I realized that this week I apparently had so much to say that this video is already kind of long. So I decided to split up the market prep and market walk for this week into 2 different videos. So this will be the end of the market prep video, and we will have a bonus market video out on Tuesday after this video comes out. So make sure you come back for that once it's out. And thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way until the end. And until then, bye!